Welcome to Vedanta Bhakti Pravachan channel. In this channel, we are looking into Sai Satcharitra, which is a great story narrated by Himad Pant regarding Shirdi Sai Baba. Now, in this chapter number 36, what writer is exactly telling? Let us see. When a man takes a plunge into sea, he gets the merit of bathing in all the tirthas and sacred rivers. Similarly, when a man takes a refuge at the feet of the Sadguru, he gets the merit of bowing the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, and also Parabrahma. Victory be unto Sri Sai, the wish-fulfilling free and the ocean of knowledge, who gives us self-realization. O Sai, create in us reverence of your stories. Let the readers and audience devour them with the same relish with which the chatak bird drinks the water from the clouds and becomes happy. While listening to your stories, let them and their families get all the true and pious emotions. Let their bodies perspire, let their eyes be full of tears, let their breath be steady, let their minds be composed. Let their hair stand on end, let them cry, sob and quiver. Let their hostilities vanish. When these things happen, that a sign of the grace of the Guru dawning upon them. When these emotions grow in you, the Guru is most pleased and will certainly lead you on the path of self-realization. The best way, therefore, to get free from the shackles of Maya is our complete and wholehearted surrender to Baba. The Vedas cannot take you across the ocean of Maya. It is only the Sadguru who can do so and make you see the God in all creatures. Granting consecrated book. The various methods of imparting instructions followed by Baba have already been noticed in the previous chapters. In this, we shall deal with one aspect of it. It was the habit of some devotees to take Baba religious books, of which they wanted to make a special study and to receive the same back from him. After they were touched and consecrated by him, while reading such books daily, they felt that Baba was with them. Once, Kaka Mahajani came to Shirdi with a copy of Eknath Bhagavat. Shyama took this book to read in the masjid. There, Baba took it from him, touched it and turning some pages here and there, gave it back to Shyama and asked him to keep it with him. When Shyama said that it belonged to Kaka and had to be returned to him, no, replied Sai Baba, as I have given to you, you better keep it. It will be used to you. In this way, many books were entrusted to Shyama. Kaka Mahajani, after a few days, came back with another copy of the same Bhagavat and gave in Baba's hand. The Baba gave it back as prasad and asked him to preserve it well and assumed him that it would stand him in a good stead. Kaka accepted it with reverence. Shyama and Vishnu Sahasranam. Shyama was very intimate devotee of Baba and Baba wanted to favor him in a particular way by giving me a copy of Vishnu Sahasranam as prasad. This was done in the following way. Once a Ramadasi came to Shirdi and stayed there for some time. The routine he followed daily was as follows. He got up early in the morning, washed his face, bathed, and then after wearing saffron colored clothes and besmearing himself with sacred ashes, read Vishnu Sahasranam and Adhyatma Ramayana with faith. He read these books very often. After some days, Baba thought of favoring and initiating Shyama with Vishnu Sahasranam. He therefore called the Ramadasi to him and said to him that he was suffering from intense stomach pain and unless he took senna parts, the pain would not stop. So, he should please go to the bazaar and bring the drug. The Ramadasi closed his book and went to the bazaar. Then Baba came from his seat to Ramadasi's place of reading and took out the copy of Vishnu Sahasranam, and after of reading and took out the copy of Vishnu Sahasranam and coming back to his seat, said to Shyama, this book is very valuable and efficacious. So I present to you, you read it. Once I suffered intensely and my heart began to palpitate and my life was in danger. At that critical moment, I agreed this to my heart, and then Shyama, what a relief it gave me. I thought that Allah Himself came down and saved me. So I gave this to you. Read it slowly, little by little. Read daily on name at least and it will do you good. Shyama replied that he did not want it and that the owner of it, the Ramadasi, was a bad-tempered, obstinate and irritable fellow, would certainly pick up a quarrel with him. Besides, being a rustic himself, he could not read distinctly the Sanskrit text of the book. Shyama thought that Baba wanted to set him up against the Ramadasi by his act of his, but he had no idea what Baba felt for him. Baba must have thought to tie a necklace of Vishnu Sahasranam round the neck of Shyama, as he was an intimate devotee. Though a rustic can thus save him from the miseries of worldly existence, the efficacy of God's name is well known. It saves us from all sins and bad tendencies, frees us from the cycle of births and deaths. There is no easier sadhana than this. It is the best purifier of mind. It requires no paraphernalia and no restrictions. It is so easy and so effective. This sadhana Baba wanted to Shyama to practice, though he did not crave for it. So Baba forced this on him. It is also reported that long ago, Eknath Maharaj similarly forced this Vishnu Sahasranam on a poor Brahman neighbor and thus saved him. The reading and study of the Vishnu Sahasranam is broad, open way of purifying the mind, and hence Baba thrusts this on his devotee Shyama. The Ramadasi returned soon with the Sena parts. Anna Chinchanigar, who was then present and wanted to play the part of Narad, informed him of what had happened. The Ramadasi at once flared up. He came down at once on Shyama with full fury. He said that it was Shyama who said Baba to send him away under the pretext of stomach ache for bringing the medicine, and thus took away the book. He began to scold and abuse Shyama and remarked that if the book was with him not returned, he would dash his head. Shyama calmly remonstrated, not returned. He would dash his head. Then Baba spoke kindly to him as follows: "Oh Ramadasi, what is the matter with you? Why are you so turbulent? He is not Shyama our boy. Why did you scold him unnecessarily? How is it that you are so quarrelsome? Can you not speak soft and tender words? You read the sacred books daily and still your mind is agitated and your passions uncontrolled. What sort of Ramadasi are you? You are indifferent to all things. Is it not strange that you should possess this book so strongly? A true Ramadasi should have no mamata but have samata towards all. You are now quarreling with Shyama for a mere book. Go, take your seat. Books can be had in plenty with money, but not men. Think well and be considerate. What worth is your book? Shyama had no concern with it. I took it up myself and gave it to him. You know it by heart. I thought Shyama might read it and benefited thereby, and so I gave it to him." How sweet were these words of Baba, soft, tender and nectar-like. Their effect was wonderful. The Ramadasi calmed down and said to Shyama that he would take Pancharati Gita in return. Shyama was much pleased and said, "Why one? I shall give you 10 copies in return." So the matter is ultimately settled. The question for consideration is, why should the Ramadasi press up Pancharatna Gita, a book for which he never cared to know, and why should he, who daily read religious books in the masjid in front of Baba, quarrel with Shyama before him? We do not know how to portion the blame and whom to blame. We only say that had this incident not happened, the importance of the subject, the efficacy of God's name and the significance of Vishnu Sahasranam would not have been brought home to Shyama. So we see that Baba's method to teaching and initiating was unique. In this case, Shyama did gradually study the book and mastered its contents to such an extent that he was able to explain it to Professor G.G. Narke, MA of the College of Engineering, Pune, the son-in-law of Sriman Bhuti and a devotee of Baba. Vittal vision. One day, while Kaka Sahib Dikshit was in meditation, after his morning bath in his Vada of Shirdi, he saw a vision in Vittal. When he went to see Baba afterwards, Baba asked him, "Did Vittal Patil come? Did you not see him?" He is very elusive. Hold him fast, otherwise he will give up the slip and run away. Then at noon, a certain hawker came there with 20 or 25 pictures of Vittal up under pour for sale. Mr. Dikshit was surprised to see that the form of Vittal he saw in the meditation exactly tallied with that in the picture. And he was also reminded of Baba's words. He therefore bought one picture most willingly and kept it in his shrine for worship. Gita Rahasya. Baba always loved those who studied Brahma Vidya and encouraged them to give an instant. When Babu Sahib Jog received a post parcel, it contained a copy of Gita Rahasya by Lokmanya Tilak. Taking it under his armpit, he came to the masjid and prostrated before Baba. When the parcel fell at Baba's feet, Baba inquired what it was. It was opened then and there, and then book was placed to Baba's hand. He turned some pages here and there for a few minutes and took out a rupee from his pocket, placed in the book and handed the same with a rupee of joke to said to him, read this completely and you will be benefited. Mr. and Mrs. Kapade. Let us close this chapter with a description of Kapades. Once Dada Sahib Kapade came to his family and lived in Shirdi for some months. Dada Sahib was not an ordinary man. He was the affluent and the most famous advocate of Amaravati and was a member of the Council of State, Delhi. He was an intelligent and a very good speaker. Still, he dared not open his mouth before Baba. Most devotees spoke and argued with Baba and on but only three, Kapade, Nulkar and Booty, kept always silent. They are meek, modest, humble and good-natured. Dada Sahib was able to expound Panchadasi to others, uttered no word. When he come to the masjid before Baba, a man, however learned to be, maybe even in Vedas, fades away before one who has realized Brahma and become one with it. Learning cannot stand before self-realization. Dada Sahib stayed for 4 months, but Mrs. Kapade stayed for 7. Both are highly pleased with their Shirdi stay. Mrs. Kapade was faithful and devout and loved Baba deeply. Every noon she brought Naivedya herself to the masjid and after it was accepted by Baba, she used to return to take her meals. On seeing her steady and firm devotion, Baba wanted to exhibit to others. One noon, she bought a dish containing sanja, puris, rice, soup and kheer and other sundry articles to the masjid. Baba, who usually waited for hours, got up at once, went up to his seat, removing the cover from the dish, began to partake of things jealously. Shama then asked him, why this partiality? At times you throw away dishes of others and do not care to look to them. But if this appeals to you earnestly, why is the dish brought by this lady so sweet? This intrigues us. Baba then explained, this food is really extraordinary. In former birth, the lady was a merchant, fat cow yielding with milk. Then she disappeared and took birth in a gardener's family, then in a Kshatriya family and married a merchant. Then she was born in a Brahmin family. I saw her after a very long time. Let me take some sweet morsels of love from her dish. After saying this, Baba did full justice to her dish, washed his mouth and hands, blessed out as he was fully satisfied and resumed the seat. Then she powdered and began to shampoo Baba's legs, and he began to talk with her and nurse her arms which were shampooing his legs. On seeing this reciprocal service, Shama began to joke and said, It is going on well. It is a wonderful sight to see God and his bhakta serving each other. After being pleased with her sincere service, Baba asked her in low and fascinating tone to chant Raja Ram, Raja Ram. Then had always said, if you do this, your life's object will be achieved, your mind will attain peace, and you will be immensely benefited. To persons unfamiliar with spiritual matters, this might appear as a polite gesture, but really it was not so. It was a case of what technically called Shakti path, transference of power from the Guru to the disciple. How effective were Baba's words! In an instant, they pierced her heart and remained there. This case illustrates the nature of the relations. that should subsist between the Guru and the disciple. Both should love and serve each other as one. There is no distinction nor any difference between them. Both are one, and one cannot be live without the other. The disciple placing his head at the Guru's feet in a gross outward vision, really and internally they are both one and the same, those who see any difference between them, and yet unripe and not perfect. Bow to Sri Sai. Peace be to all.